Now on 767 News, man burnt over $30 drug payment dispute. Two denied bail in Woodford Hill robbery. An international group hosts two-day workshop on areas of improvement between Dominica and the UN. Numerous matches scheduled in this week's DFA's National Leagues. Welcome to 767 News, Dominica's #1 news source. I'm Alicia George. Stay tuned for the latest news and developments after this break.
I just do it like a...
Want to steal the show with your carnival costume? No problem. Esther's Beauty Services can make it happen. We can transform any carnival costume, juve, and t-shirt band outfit to an extravagant allure that is unique to you. So don't wait. Call 767-285-1641 to book your appointment today. Spaces are limited, so act quickly for this one-time Carnival Edition offer. Esther's Beauty Services also provides makeup and hair services. The number again is 767-285-1641.
Every day is fet, I come out to better fetting more than you.
Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. But that's alright because I love the way
I thought you tell me you're not talking to us. What is message on your phone? So what are you like for?
You ever love somebody so much you can barely breathe when you're with them, you meet, and neither one of you eat.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. But that's alright because I like the way it hurts.
Introducing the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz has joined with Ashley Furniture, the #1 selling home furnishings brand in America, to bring you the most extraordinary furniture selection at unbeatable prices. It's now easier than ever before to find that perfect furniture piece for your home. And what's more, you can add that special touch with the right accent piece from our range of designer accessories from Ashley. Create the perfect look for your home with the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home. Visit the new Ashley Gallery at our Roseau store.
Welcome back. What appeared to have been a dispute over $30 escalated on Saturday, February 7th, which resulted in one man being admitted to the intensive care unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital. According to an eyewitness who wishes to remain anonymous, the incident occurred inside of an abandoned home opposite the Roseau Seventh-day Adventist Church in Portersville at about 9 a.m. Reports are that the dispute originated from an alleged failed payment for drugs purchased by the victim on Friday, February 6th.
A partner come and call my partner because he's sleeping there, I sleep in there. Okay? So the partner was fast asleep, sleeping, so he couldn't answer the person. So the person just leave and go. Yeah, I still lie down sleeping in my bed. So I just the fire give him. You just give the fire, the place through because a little spot and it's so you give fire until. So later on, when I get up, so I was, boy, why is that happening there to us here? So later on, I leave the place and I run down for a short pan to ask for Ashley's thing.
He said two individuals assisted him in carrying pails of water to the home where they successfully extinguished the fire, which was cooking his friend, better known as Baby, alive. The witnesses said when he examined his friend following the blaze, he noticed that he suffered severe burns on majority of his body. He said he left the scene and went for help to call the fire and ambulance service, which responded to the incident.
So as I reach up there, just so the ambulance come and you sit down now by the church, riding down, falling, because as I reach, just so the ambulance come to the business, so that we put him up everything and put him on the ambulance and go up to the hospital.
The eyewitness said it appears that a flammable liquid was poured onto his friend and ignited by an individual who fled the scene. The incident was seen by numerous homeless individuals who used the abandoned building as a place of refuge. The victim's brother, who chose to remain anonymous, said he helped to extinguish the flame after being alerted by a friend. However, his brother kept calling his name and repeated that he is dying. Reports are that the victim, Baby, is well known for washing vehicles across the bridge in Pottersville. 767 News will give an update in a subsequent newscast as soon as more information becomes available. In other news, bail has been denied for 2 or 3 men involved in a drug and firearm-related incident, while bail for the third man was opened at $10,000. On February 1, 2015, Kelvin Alexander of Canefield, Jumadin Mark, and Shane Graham of Maho were jointly charged for 4 drug-related offenses: possession of cannabis, intent to distribute 33.4 grams of cannabis, possession of cocaine, and intent to distribute 32.1 grams of cocaine. Mark pleaded guilty to the charges, while Alexander and Graham pleaded not guilty, and the drug charges against them were withdrawn. The men were also charged with 2 counts of possession of firearm and 3 counts of possession of ammunition without being the holder of a valid firearms license. Mark and Alexander both pleaded guilty to the offenses, while Graham pleaded not guilty, and the state decided to proceed with the matter against Graham with a trial date set for May 22, 2015. The prosecution, headed by Inspector Michael Loda, objected to bail for Graham on the grounds that he committed his latest offense while he was already on bail for 2 separate firearm-related offenses which occurred in 2014. According to Loda, there is a propensity by Graham to be associated with firearm-related incidents, and there was a likelihood that he would reoffend. Loda pointed out that Graham was warned not to commit any offenses of a similar nature while on bail. He also objected to bail for Alexander on the grounds that he too was on bail for another similar offense when this one was committed. Magistrate Bernard Paquette informed both Graham and Joseph that their bail application put forward by attorney Peter Allain was denied. Although the prosecution objected to bail for Mark, who was convicted on a firearm-related incident almost 10 years ago, Magistrate Bernard Paquette opened bail in the sum of $10,000. The facts and sentencing in relation to the guilty pleas in the firearm and drug-related charges has been adjourned to February 23, 2015. All 3 men have been remanded. In related news, 47-year-old Nicholas Roberts of Goodwill has been sentenced to 3 years hard labor after he pleaded guilty to indecent exposure. The facts stated that on February 2nd at Virgin Lane, Roberts exposed his private part to a 10-year-old girl while she was walking along the lane. According to the police statement, the child stated that she had observed Roberts following her and at one point took his penis out and his pants advancing to her. Some persons who were present and witnessed the incident apprehended Roberts and took him to police headquarters, where he was charged with suspicion of indecent exposure. In court on Monday, Roberts expressed remorse, stating to Magistrate Bernard Paquette that he was sorry for his actions. He told the court he exposed himself to children because sometimes he loses control, explaining that he is a patient at the psychiatric unit and sometimes mixes his medication with other drugs. In 2012, Roberts was convicted for an offense of a similar nature. Meanwhile, Brian Francis of Salisbury is currently serving a 1-year suspended sentence and a newly imposed 1-month sentence for his latest offense. Francis, who admitted he had a weakness for a certain dairy product, pleaded guilty to stealing a tin of crushed cheese from A.C. Shillingford last week. This is Francis's 5th conviction for cheese theft. In March 2014, he received a 1-year sentence from Chief Magistrate Candia Correct George, which was suspended for 2 years. The 1-month sentence will run concurrent with the 1-year suspended sentence. Edmund Rice International holds talks on ways to ease discussion between Dominica and the United Nations. More details when 767 News returns.
Welcome to Court's Digital World, where we have the widest range of digital products from the world's best brands, televisions, tablets, laptop computers, mobile phones, and much more. Connect, explore, engage.
We decided to go on to our normal little fishing.
Sickness, suicide, and survival aboard the canoe. In God We Trust. Untold Stories brings you the most riveting movie based on actual events.
Welcome back. 20 individuals have participated in a just concluded two-day workshop that could ease talks on issues between Dominica and the United Nations. On Tuesday, representatives of Edmund Rice International, a group of members from the Edmund Rice Christian Brothers and the Presentation Brothers, founded in Ireland in 1802, coordinated the workshop in an effort to discuss issues of human rights and climate change which affect us here in Dominica. Brother Kevin Cowley, PhD, representative of the Edmund Rice Christian Brothers, told 767 News that the discussion was based on the UN's Universal Periodic Review.
Sometimes people think that the UN is hard to get to and it doesn't really do much, but we're convinced that it's doing some good things. We're going to get more people involved. We've been to Trinidad and Grenada and St. Lucia on this journey, and each place we gather a group of people, we try to build their capacity to use the UN system, mostly around the Universal Periodic Review, which is taking place every year in Geneva.
Member states are up for review every 4 years in Geneva. Cawley said the idea is to get Dominicans introduced to the Universal Periodic Review calendar, which is based on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the Convention on the Rights of a Child.
So we ask people to take a look at those documents and take a look at your situation. What do you notice? Are there any gaps? Are there omissions? We also ask them to pay attention to care of the earth. We know that if we get all the human rights things correct, and everybody has their human rights, and then we go out and we can't breathe the air, and we can't drink the water, and we can't eat the food, really, what have we accomplished?
Crowley described the Caribbean region as being savable from the effects of climate change. Dennis Clavis, representative of the Presentation Brothers, said Dominica is the last country on their tour of the Caribbean.
We have gone through the islands, now starting in Trinidad, up to Grenada, St. Lucia, and now in Dominica, where we're giving two-day workshops on opening the door of what the United Nations can be doing for the people of Dominica, how the United Nations has been formatted to be able to assist. So that's what we have been doing.
Clavis said from his experience, the United Nations can be used to serve the people. Meanwhile, local priest and chairman of the World Rivers Day Committee, Father Franklin Coffey, was excited about the visit and the number of young people who showed interest in the workshop.
I'm very impressed with the number of young people who are representing in the government departments or social departments here. So it's really arming us with tools so that we can, again, have the right way to present our projects and to guarantee that, especially in cases where united resolutions have been signed by our government, and to say, okay, we have those issues, this concern, the United Nations recognize these are issues and our government are party to those issues.
Young people were not the only ones present at the workshop. Family Affairs Magistrate Gloria Septra Augustus also attended. She told 767 News that the topic was right down her alley.
So I wanted to get a view of how they dealt with these issues, which probably will be different, because generally when we talk about human rights and child rights, most times it's UNICEF that conducts it. So I wanted to see from what angle that the brothers were going to take that topic. And I'm glad that I came because I got to know that they also are an NGO, and they go to the UN where they usually have the review of the the reports from the government's review to do with the Convention on the Rights of the Child, also the review to do with the Convention for Domestic Violence Against Women, which is CEDAW, and usually they are the NGOs that help other countries to lobby for certain things.
The representatives of Edmund Rice International leaves Ireland tomorrow. In other stories, the erratic movements of some motorists has caused the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force to issue a warning for them to exercise caution on the road. In an interview with 767 News, Police Public Relations Officer ASP Claude Wicks said this is especially for riders of motor scooters and motorcycles who overtake anywhere or on any side of the road.
Perhaps we can see the overtaking in the sky. They just believe that they're invincible. They can do what they want. They're in command of the road. They flaunt the laws. Now, when they say, well, about enforcement, of course, people are being taken before the court, tickets are being issued. So I think that some kind of strategy has to be developed with respect to dealing with this matter. Apart from the taking people to court and so on, whether it's taking maybe the license, if not a faster rate, a faster pace, some kind of reviewing has to be done, and we cannot take off education as well.
ASP Wicks said these motorists cannot continue their erratic driving, especially in the city of Roseau, so something must be done immediately.
Like everything else, when you're on the road, anything can happen. Some collisions we can avoid. There are accidents. It is being said that an accident is a mishap. Sometimes you can't see it, but collisions, many of them, to be brutally honest, can be avoided, provided that we observe the rules, the traffic rules and regulations and how we drive.
The senior police officer said it is important that all motorists adhere to the rules of the road. And organizer of the Dominica State College's March Jamboree, Edgar Hunter, says the event is and continues to prepare young ladies for the Miss Dominica pageant. He said the DSC March Jamboree was conceptualized during a time when the Dominica Festivals Committee was facing challenges in securing young ladies to participate in the Miss Dominica pageant.
And we have done so successfully. We haven't had a winner yet. Last year, it's Octavia Prosper, one of our Miss Jamboree came third. And then we had somebody who came first runner-up, right? I can't recall the name now. And also, we had someone who won Best Talent, Miss Joseph, a couple years ago. And we are hoping this year that we have two people in the competition, Miss Normana John Baptist, and our 2014 winner, Miss Odessa Eli, that this year that one of the winners one of these two will win the Miss Dominica 2015.
Hunter made the statement during a DFC press conference last Wednesday ahead of the Miss Dominica 2015 pageant. However, history was made just 2 days after when Odessa Eli, who is the 2013 Miss March Jamboree winner, won the 2015 Miss Dominica pageant, defeating 6 other contestants on Friday, February 6, one of which was Normana John Baptist, who is also a past Miss Jamboree contestant. Hunter was elated with the victory. Meanwhile, this year's March Jamboree, scheduled for Thursday, February 12th at the Winter Park Sports Stadium's food court, will feature a Bouillon segment.
We recognize that Bouillon is the leading music in Dominica now. And as a state college, we decided we have to play our role. So as part of the March Jamboree, we have what we call a Bouillon section, and this year we'll be featuring the #1 Bouillon band in the country, the Triple A Global, and 2 upcoming bands, and look for them in the future, the Crossbites Band and the Signal Band. Also, we do feature Calypso. Calypso is another important component. And as part of our Calypso, we will feature Young Bull will be one of our feature. We have our Calypso queen at campus this year, we call her, is Stingray. She's a student at the college, and she'll be featured highly. Black Diamond is still a student, he hasn't completed yet, so he too will be featured among other Calypsonians. Our feature artist this year on the Queen Show component will be Divine. And also we'll be featuring a number of our students.
The March Jamboree organizer added the show will begin at 5 p.m. when 7 young ladies will vie for the title of Miss March Jamboree 2015. The contestants are Sharika Winson, Brianna Vidal, Carla Henry, Chantel George, Alwina Thomas, Cherise Fabian, and Tamika Balson. And that's it for local news. The latest in sports news is coming up next with Larry, so stay tuned.
Digicel Play wishes to advise all customers of ongoing upgrade works on our network across Dominica. We are aware that some customers may be experiencing interruptions in their service. Please be informed that the ongoing works will be carried out over the next few months as we upgrade to the next generation of broadband technology. As such, we apologize for any inconvenience caused. Our technical team will attempt to reduce any outages to a minimum. We thank you, our customers, for your patience and look forward to launching new products to Dominica over the coming months.
Say hello to the Digicel DL700, our newest best value Android smartphone with a 4-inch display, front-facing camera, and a 5-megapixel rear camera. It's perfect for snapping and sharing. Plus, it's super fast, so you can play more, do more, and listen more. And choose to download from over 1 million apps in the Google Play Store. The Digicel DL700, the latest addition in the Digicel Android smartphone range. Make the smart choice. Digicel.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. In tonight's coverage, we begin with football. 9 matches are scheduled this week in the National Leagues of the Dominica Football Association, DFA, with a match which was scheduled in the Division 1 League between Wacky Rollers and Starring and Son St. Joseph earlier this evening. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Football Association, Gerald Judge, has more on the matches.
In a doubleheader at the Buffett State playing field, Malta India Harlem United will come up against RIC Kensborough at 5 p.m. to be followed by Colio versus Tenfield Football Club at 7 p.m. In another doubleheader, the Buffett State playing field on Wednesday, Jasper Potters will battle All Saints at 5 p.m. while at 7 p.m. it will be Nemesis United versus Jays Limited, run for young boys. And on Thursday, Itassi United will take on East Central at 6 p.m. at the Dibla playing field, while in a doubleheader at the Buffett State playing field, Bradford Ambassadors will come up against Gawley Dream Team at 5 p.m. to be followed by Trafalgar Football Club versus ACS Parish United at 7 p.m.
In the only match this week in the Dominic Women's League, a match was scheduled earlier this evening between Dive Dominica Harlem United versus Bomber Starlights at the Newtown playing field. In cricket, training has begun and will continue for a number of young cricketers hoping to make it on Dominica's national under-15 cricket team. In an interview with 767 News on Friday, during training at the Botanic Gardens, Sports Officer Kevin James, who is attached to the under-15 training squad, said a total of 25 boys are training.
We are boys from the PHL Secondary School, the Dominica Grammar School, the St. John's Academy, the Portsmouth Secondary School. We also have boys from the Sallyway Primary School, the Soufriere Primary School. So it's a good mix where we have boys from the primary school as well as the secondary school.
He said when the final decision is made on the squad, 13 players will be selected along with 2 reserves.
The youngsters are really coming out to train. They have been put through the paces, and I must say that the skill level of the boys are of a very good standard for the under 15 level. We expect as we continue the training sessions that they can really pick up and keep improving and keep learning, so that we could have good representation for Dominica, the under 15 competition this year.
James added they are hoping to make the squad to participate in the Windward Islands regional competition from March 31st to April 9th. In more football, the 2015 National Bank of Dominica Primary Schools Football Championship continued on Tuesday, February 10th at the Maho playing field, where the Salisbury, Pioneer, Massac, Campbell, Maho, Warner, and the Caleb Blora Primary School converged for day 1 of matches in their zone. The final day of round 1 for the Southeast Zone also continued on Tuesday in Castibros. Meanwhile, the schools from Sinico to Wesley, including the Concord Primary, will meet at the Leo Park in Marigot on Wednesday, February 11th for day 1 of their competition, while the second day of competition for the Valley Central Zone will take place at the Lindo Park Court in Goodwill from 12 noon. On Thursday, February 12th, the schools of the Southwest Zone will play at the Newtown Savannah, while the South Zone will end their qualifying round at the Geneva playing field in Granby. And in cricket, the West Indies were bowled out for only 122 runs in less than 30 overs against England in Sydney 5 days before their World Cup tournament opener against Australia. However, team manager Richie Richardson said the West Indies fans should not be faced by the crushing defeat, as the players simply do not want to pick early. He said the plan is to gradually ease into the World Cup as they have prepared well, and their performance in the match is nowhere a reflection of how they have been training or anything to do with the mood in the camp. Richardson added that the team have been playing well, the guys have been in a very good mood, and hopefully they won't have any more of such performances. And that's it for tonight's Sportscast. Tune in again tomorrow for more sports news.
That was Larry with the latest in sports. Now for a recap of tonight's headlines. Man burnt over $30 drug payment dispute. 2 denied bail in Woodford Hill robbery, and international group hosts 2-day workshop on areas of improvement between Dominica and the UN. In sports, numerous matches scheduled in this week's DFA's National Leagues. And that's all the time we have for now. Drop us an email at media@767news.dm, friend us on Facebook, and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I'm Alicia George, wishing you a wonderful evening, and thanks for watching.
Boom, Miss and it's my time to get on bad when I jam in at everybody. Come celebrate with me, but if you don't know me yet, don't worry, man, we go take a jam in a party. Yeah, put one hand in the air. 767 News.